Training dancers is a responsibility and a privilege. Our industry is an unregulated one at the moment, but that doesn't mean we have to be uneducated. Dance is magical, and as teachers, we are entrusted the huge responsibility to nurture and train a wide range of vulnerable children. Just because we don't physically harm a student or inflict verbal abuse by yelling like a drill sergeant at the front of the class doesn't mean we can't still cause pain or damage more indirectly while teaching. Educating ourselves is the best defense in keeping our industry alive, happy, safe, and healthy. Dance training includes many things, and once a student reaches an elite level, perfecting the performer into an all-round technician, as well as equipping them mentally for life away from home, including having guest nutritionists and physiotherapists, talking to them about how to care for their bodies for this new venture. While most teachers will agree with what I just said, there are new trends in the industry that are dividing opinions. What has been on the increase is content on the hypersexualized side, and whether this has been or was always there or not, this is now more accessible to all ages online. When it comes to dance, there can be no doubt there has been a history of and continues to be exploitation being made all over the world, in addition to an increase in hypersexualized content. There is an alarming lack of education and information available to emerging mentors, teachers, icons, and industry leaders. To become an educator in a school setting requires many years of dedication, study, and constant review of their performance and ability. While we are not responsible for the academic growth and development of the children that we come in contact with daily, we do have a huge impact on their physical development, emotional maturity, social awareness, cognitive development, and more importantly, contribute to children becoming successful members of society. I believe most of our studios and teachers are doing the right thing and truly have the children's best interest at heart. However, our duty of care goes far beyond qualifying for a Working with Children check card. Ticking all of your hiring boxes doesn't mean they will always have the skill set to work with children and young adults in the classroom. There is much more that needs to be considered and required as necessary skill sets needed to work with children and young adults in the dance classroom setting. Most of the time, new teachers are excited to share their passion for dance, teach their content, as well as make names for themselves. They hear a good beat and get excited when the creativity flows with choreography and preparation goes into finding classes they can go and teach this to. The excitement of choreography and choreographing can sometimes haze out the important aspects of teaching, which include lyrics, content, age appropriateness, and where the content is going to be posted to, or more importantly, seen and copied by. As an educated community, it's everybody's responsibility to help build an industry that is well informed, nurtured, and has room to grow and explore. Young, influential minds that are viewing content so fast in the digital world need educated guidance and a gentle approach when it comes to appropriateness. So what should the concern and focus be on? I think as an industry, those that are at the top, hiring, recruiting, and teaching, should educate themselves on who they are teaching and be open to the conversation of what is appropriate or not. Just because we once did something one way doesn't mean that we have to keep doing it. When you know better, I think we can make the change and do better without feeling guilty. The issue arises when we do know better and we choose otherwise. Recently, I was pleasantly surprised by a well-known hip-hop choreographer who, after talking to about concerns on lyrics for a younger dancer, was open to changing music and reworking a routine. The easy reply would have been, "Too bad, I've already choreographed it, so it's too late." More teachers of children and young adults should look to choreographers like this and to be open to finding out what the harms of teaching routines with sexualized or suggestive moves, accompanied with lyrics and costuming to match, can do to a dancer. Talk to students and parents, and you might find that the generation of dancer and some parents nowadays have already started to be conditioned. They can't see the concern or problem, and their children are happy and doing what they love, so why disturb this? This is the style of now. Everyone needs to just keep up with the trends. Other responses can be too aggressive, and then the teacher and or dancer doesn't know what is and isn't acceptable, so an unhealthy view on their own body can arise from this rash way of thinking as well. The body is a temple, and dance is an expressive art form. Respect for both is what an educated community can work towards. Pointing out dangers and the harm music choices and moves can have on different people opens the door to conversations much bigger than us as an individual. The truth is that children and young adults are just that, young. There is nothing wrong with that, and in fact their opinion and voice should and must be heard as well. However, the adults need to reclaim their position and become the protectors and set a new standard. Don't let the lines blur with friendship between teacher and student, as well as parent and child, for the sake of just keeping up with the times. Protection should and must be the number one priority. As a teacher, parent, and dance adjudicator, I feel responsible. Hearing statements that my dance industry is a target for the P-Hub, which is an online porn site that targets dance studios and their dancers to take their content and use for the pedophiles online. It sickens me to the core. What is disturbing is that the porn directors that have dancers that fall into the industry have said some dancers arrive porn ready. Dancers that have sadly fallen into the sex industry have said the hypersexualized moves they have practiced from a young age helped along the way for being comfortable in this style. When judging a competition and a dancer comes out on the stage performing a technically strong routine with dynamic style and personality, and then starts gyrating on the floor, I can feel the audience's eyes burning in the back of my body. Some competitions, the audience is cheering at these movements, and others I know they are waiting for me to say something. The dancer is never at fault, and I don't believe judges should mark down for this. However, this is a chance to write down, without publicly humiliating both dancer and choreographer, ways to help guide them into better choices. Dancers learning to move their body in this way makes it normal, and the more value attached to the likes they get in person, along with hearts and flames, comments that say, "You're hot, you're so sexy, you're amazing," for young dancers can be the start of an emotional roller coaster ride. A dancer should feel comfortable about themselves and be able to express themselves in a way that they feel is good for them, and in some cases, these moves are feeling good to them. However, if it is just feeding that dancer's value, then on its own that can be damaging. I know young dancers can't see the harm in this, and the fact that predators use their content doesn't seem to worry a dancer now online, as they can't physically see the harm. But well-informed, educated adults should be concerned. So what can we do? Leaders can talk. Teachers can take action. Choreographers and directors can be in charge and take a stand. Conversations can happen with victims and survivors. Review of their own works and what is being produced can be considered from all angles. I might be naive, but I believe we can change. We can have a world where eyes can be open to the harm, where dancers can get likes for their artistry, technique, hard work, and dedication, without having to introduce unnecessary styles at a very young age, where they can get their self-worth and value from knowing who they truly are and not from what they do. Joining Dance Awareness in America, Keep Kids Safe in Dance Australia, YPAD in America, and others online who are fighting hard for an industry that provides so many wonderful experiences will help build our dance industry up, as well as provide safety and support for the performers who leave their heart and soul on the dance floor every single day. You can connect with me on Instagram under Stage Ready Dancer or under Tina the Ballerina Mentor. It's been my absolute pleasure to talk to you today, and I hope in this crazy world and time we get to meet in person soon.